Was a wound on his cheek, but they can fix that for the visitation. I want an open casket. David was such a beautiful man. Have you found out anything? Do you know who did this to him?
Not yet.
So awful. It's everything. I'm just trying to focus on the details, the death notice, the flowers, which passage to read. David wasn't a religious man, but I think the Old Testament is beautiful.
What shall I cry? All flesh is grass, and the goodliness thereof is as the flower of the field. Isaiah 40. Nice for a graveside service.
Oh, no, David isn't going to be buried. He's going to be cremated like my first husband. Here.
Your first husband gave you that ring?
No, this is him. Larry. There's a company called Memory Gem, and they take cremated remains and make it into artificial diamonds.
Oh.
So you're going to make David into another ring?
No. A pendant. Bigger than this, and closer to my heart. I was fond of Larry, but David was the love of my life.
Mrs. DiNapoli, we heard that maybe you and David were having some troubles.
What? No trouble.
That maybe you were heading toward divorce.
Me and David? No. We were soulmates.
What are you guys looking for? Her drawing a bullseye on his back?
I don't know. They look like soulmates to you.
Well, they're not speaking to each other. They look married.
This is the day before.
Oh, those clothes are god-awful. Leopard print and zebra print.
I like a little color on a woman.
Yeah, I actually think the orange goes nicely with the zebra.
All right, this is the last one, the morning of the murder. She's taking a taxi this time.
Hack number right there.
I wonder where she's going.
I know. I didn't tell you about the sword. I was embarrassed.
Embarrassed? Embarrassed about killing your husband?
I didn't kill David.
His wounds were consistent with the sword that you bought that you didn't tell us about. The night he was murdered, you could have driven in from Connecticut and been back before anyone had known you were gone.
No. Somebody else killed David. They broke into the house for those comics, and they must have seen the sword and realized that it would reach into the cage.
You're saying he was already in the cage?
That's a little embarrassing, too. Is there someone else I could talk to?
Sex games.
Sex games? Locking your husband in a dog cage before you go on an overnight trip?
He needed to be punished.
Oh, okay. What about the sword?
You hold it against certain sensitive body parts.
Okay, what about shoving it through his chest? Maybe he really needed to be punished.
She says it was all for fun, never for harm, and she can prove it.
How?
They've done it before. She has a witness. West Hampton Police Department.
Doesn't look good, Mrs. DiNapoli. You gotta understand.
Call me Marielle, because I feel we're working together on this.
From different ends, Marielle. The evidence doesn't lie. Your first husband was poisoned.
And your second husband told the police at least 4 times that you tried to kill him.
I explained all that to your lieutenant. Didn't she explain it to you?
Well, if it was just game playing, why did he call the police?
Well, he'd get mad about something, like if I left a sandwich in the car. He never liked that. But then, you know, if one of our scenarios got a little out of hand, he'd overreact until we, you know, got back on track.
You locked David in a dog cage and left him there for the weekend.
I don't expect you to understand, but what David and I had together, it was sent by God.
You were soulmates.
Yes.
And you found this out when you were married to your first husband.
It was bad timing. Well, if I had met David first, I never would have even been with another man.
But you were with another man, and that man was killed, which left you financially set up and alone with David, right?
That's true. You're not gonna let up on this, are you?
No, we're not. You had every reason in the world to murder your first husband.
So did David.
David.
His business was fiber optics. His company had a plant in China. He used to go over there, and they had a certain chemical that...
Thallium.
That was the one. David brought some back.
You're saying you and he killed your first husband together?
No, it was David, just David. And he told me about it afterwards. I felt bad about Larry, but I wasn't going to go to the police.
Even though he murdered your husband.
Because he loved me. Because we were soulmates. Because we had to be together. Am I under arrest? Then I have to get back to the funeral home.
People v. Marielle DiNapoli. Charge is murder in the second degree.
Mrs. DiNapoli pleads not guilty?
No. She pleads not possible.
Excuse me?
How can you murder your own heart?
The actual charge, Your Honor, is murdering her husband.
How can you murder your own soul?
Stick around, you'll see.
You think Marty Ashcroft killed my husband? And you want me to seduce him?
That's not what we said.
We don't want you to lock him in a dog cage either.
Just talk to him. If you really want to help us, if you're willing.
I'm willing. I just wanted to be with somebody who knew David, and you were his friend. This whole thing has just been so terrible.
So, they dropped the charge against you?
Oh, of course they did. They found people who saw me in Connecticut while David was being killed. The idea that they would arrest me, that they would suspect me.
I know. I'm sorry about David.
You knew how special he was.
If there's anything I can do.
I really appreciate that, Marty. I feel so alone now.
Anything, Mariel.
What? I need money to pay bills. David's investments were very complicated, and his comic books were all gone. And if I just had a couple of those to sell, you know, to just tide me over.
They might not all be gone.
But they were stolen.
Not all of them. David gave me a few to evaluate.
You have some of David's comic books? You son of a bitch! Ow! Ah! You killed David! You bastard!
Mariel, put it down!
He killed my soul.
911 call was from the cleaning lady. She came in this morning, saw the place torn up, and was on the phone before she even saw the body.
All right. We got a TOD yet, Doc?
Blood still not dry? That, plus the rigor and body temp, I'd say 11 p.m., give or take an hour.
No signs of forced entry. What do you think, gentlemen? Call her.
She's fully clothed, but we'll check it out.
Hey, there's a jewelry box in there dumped on the floor, but nothing looks valuable. Either it wasn't a robbery or they just took the good stuff. There's a computer-powered brick, but no computer. This looks like a palm print from where they leaned over to unplug it.
Might have been some hot story on it. Our victim's Dawn Prescott, a TV reporter, Channel 8 News.
Now she's the story.
Dad, are you okay?
Detectives, come in, please. Well, all things come to an end, don't they? I confess,
To killing Don Prescott.
Oh, no. To fraud. To very big fraud.
Fred.
Oh, that's all right, Irene. This is all a sham. This doesn't exist. Arrest me.
You think he's talking fraud to avoid talking murder?
I have no idea. We don't get many like this one. Book him on the fraud?
Yeah, for now.
The cops still like Matson for murder, right?
Yeah, they're still working it.
Doesn't he seem to be acting more like someone who knows who did it than someone who did it himself?
Begging to be arrested. He requested protective custody at Rikers.
He's afraid he's going to be next. We wanted to talk to you about Vince Decker and Don Prescott.
Of course. You hear Santana, you think drugs, guns, I kill everybody all of the time. You too, better be careful when you leave.
You knew about them?
Decker is a pain in the ass. And Prescott, she's a beautiful woman, but a reporter, so a pain in the ass, by definition.
Did you know they were working on a story that would shut off the flow of new funds into Matson's hedge fund?
Miss Prescott should have stayed with the polar bears, but I didn't kill anybody, although I would like to strangle Matson. Figure of speech.
We know from your office records you met with Santana on a regular basis.
He was a client.
Did you tell him what Decker and Prescott were working on? Do you have reason to believe that he had them killed?
What if he doesn't?
David, no.
Just a minute, Fred. Pretend it's all true. And Mr. Matson testifies that Santana was aware that Prescott and Decker were jeopardizing his investment. And that Santana made comments indicating that he would take care of the situation. What happens to the fraud charge?
It could be reduced.
I would need protection. For me and my family.
It's not out of the question.
Why are you doing this? My husband's confessed. He's going to jail for the rest of his life.
For fraud, this is a murder investigation.
What murder?
This checkbook. Who are these people? Arnold Coleman and Hannah Daly. They have office next to their names.
My husband's assistants. I wrote some of their Christmas checks.
Good enough?
I guess. Mrs. Matson, you're under arrest.
For Christmas checks?
The district attorneys will explain everything.
We got Mrs. Matson's prints when she was booked. They weren't in the system before then.
They're a definite match?
They matched the prints found in Don Prescott's apartment, where it appears someone leaned over to unplug the computer.
The missing computer.
We were just using Mrs. Matson as a lever.
Dumb luck, counselor, there's more. We looked into Mrs. Matson's cell phone. Its GPS chip puts her on Don Prescott's block at the time of the murder, when she got a call.
From who?
From her daughter.
Do you remember the night of March 13th?
My mother left the restaurant early because she didn't feel well. I called her around 11 to make sure she got home all right. She said she was tucked up in bed with a good book. What does that have to do with anything?
You called her on her cell phone, not the house phone, right?
The house phone didn't answer.
Case number 48916, People versus Irene Madsen, conspiracy to defraud in the first degree.
Your Honor, we are withdrawing that charge at this time, as we now intend to charge Mrs. Madsen with murder.
We got Delaney's testimony. He told Matson what Dawn was working on, and since the Matsons apparently discussed everything, there's no doubt he passed it on to his wife.
No doubt.
No reasonable doubt.
Yeah, we're running Mrs. Matson's wardrobe for traces of blood, checking her country house for a gun. She's not a pro. The police will find something.
So she goes up for 25 to life. We're piling the counts on Matson. 2 of his investors killed themselves. He'll do 1,000 years.
Santana. He killed Vince Decker and he killed Don Prescott.
The timing of this is a little, convenient.
You're charging my wife with a murder she didn't commit. Santana killed Decker. Not by himself. He told me that he'd had him taken care of. He asked me if there were any loose ends. He didn't want any bad news about the fund until he got his money out. The man terrified me. I told him about Dawn Prescott and the story she was working on. And he told me she'd be dealt with.
And you expect us to believe this and just let your wife walk free?
My wife didn't know anything about Dawn's story. I told Santana, but I didn't tell her.
We've still got the evidence against Mrs. Madsen. The cell phone, the palm print.
They have the Colombian drug lord who probably killed Vince Decker. Jury's gonna flip a coin.
You know, Santana can get people killed even in prison. Testifying against him could be suicide, and Madsen knows it.
We have a case against you, Mrs. Madsen, but your husband's offered an alternate theory that we're obliged to explore.
You know, we've prepared an extradition request to the Colombian authorities, but we need as much evidence as we can to support it.
We'll need you to sign this statement.
Fred, what are they talking about?
Your husband has agreed to testify against Mr. Santana.
Fred, have you lost your mind?
It's all right, Irene. I know what I'm doing.
You're letting him do this?
It's what he wants.
They'll kill him. They'll kill you. What did he tell you? That Santana made statements? What kind of statements?
About murdering Mr. Decker and planning to murder Miss Prescott.
He's lying. Santana never said anything.
Irene.
I sat in every meeting with that man. Fred was afraid of him. He never said anything like that.
I had other meetings with him, Irene.
Where? When?
Let it go. I am not going to let them send you to prison.
Oh, Freddie. No.
For the rest of your life, Irene. I can't stand to think about that.
So you'd rather be dead? Freddie. I went to see that girl. I knew what she was doing. We only needed a little more time. There were some Arabs that were wanting to invest. I offered her money. She didn't want money. She just wanted a story. She kept asking me questions. I was not there to answer questions. She wouldn't listen to reason. She wanted to destroy us, Freddie. You and me. After 30 years, I couldn't let that happen.
Where are they? Where are the Mexican kids who are working here?
People come and go. They probably went home.
All right, where's your friend, Mr. Armendaris? Downstairs?
Okay, let's go. This is Betty Drake. You're under arrest for the murder of Eduardo and Maria Carranza. You have the right to remain silent.
Docket number 52782, the People versus Rudy Armendaris, Ellis Drake, and Betty Drake. 3 counts murder, second degree. 2 counts kidnapping, first degree. Everybody's pleading guilty, right?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Your Honor, Mr. Armendaris has repeatedly visited Mexico. The risk of flight is substantial. We request that he be held without bail. For Mr. and Mrs. Drake, $250,000 each defendant.
Mr. Armendaris owns a business that needs his attention, Your Honor. The risk of flight...
It's humongous, Counselor. The charge is murder, not spitting on the subway. No bail. Mr. Dunlap?
Your Honor, my clients are innocent victims of a career criminal. And an ungrateful orphan they tried to help. They took him off the street, they set him up in business, they bought him a house as a wedding present.
Oh, this isn't about slave labor. It's about a dysfunctional family. Why don't we send it to family court? Family Values Week is over. The people's request is granted, and Mr. Dunlap, no bond, all cash.
If you're convicted, Mrs. Drake, you'll die in prison.
I'm going to die in my own bed, at home, with my dear husband next to me.
Mrs. Drake, we don't believe that you killed Ira Bender or those children. But if you try to save Mr. Armendaris, you'll go down with him.
Betty, he's offering 12 years. You're facing 75 to life.
I'm no lawyer. You guys would sell your mother for a day at the races. We don't testify against a boy we brought up like our own son.
Mr. Drake?
Mr. Armendaris, he asked kids to work in the sweatshop.
Did you personally hear him ask Maria and Eduardo Carranza if they want a job sewing wedding gowns?
Yes, he asked them in the club.
Did there come a time when you looked for Maria and Eduardo because you hadn't seen them in the neighborhood?
I had a letter from Eduardo's mother. She didn't hear from him. I went to the sweatshop, the factory. The boss told me Eduardo and Maria went home to Mexico.
Is that man in the courtroom today?
That man there.
Let the record indicate he's pointing at the defendant, Ellis Drake.
Record will so indicate.
Thank you. No further questions.
Mr. Lopez, did you ever go inside this sweatshop during the time when Maria and Eduardo were supposedly working there?
No, I didn't.
Well, then you never actually saw them in there with Mr. Drake, did you?
No?
How well did you know Eduardo and Maria?
Just around the neighborhood.
Well, then, in point of fact, they might have gone back to Mexico without your knowing.
No, they would have said goodbye.
Really? To a casual acquaintance? Even if they left in a hurry?
The boy pointed at you, Mr. Drake.
If they want to convict anyone, it's not your wife or Sonny Boy.
A timeout. We agreed, no separate deals.
You think we'd turn against each other? We're family here.
Oh, cut the family number, Mrs. Drake. We all know who's playing musical beds.
Hey, I got music in me. What does that prove?
Stop it! Shut up! It's bad enough you were doing it!
She begged for it, man. She screamed for it.
Mr. Drake, manslaughter won 2 counts. You only do 9 years.
Hold on, you can't do that. Guard!
We're offering you a deal. You testify against your wife, Mr. Armendariz.
I'm leaving. You have to stop. You cannot talk in front of my client.
Fine, guard. Take Mr. Armendariz to a cell.
Ben, this is unethical.
You had to sleep with him. The money wasn't enough.
Now let's keep your mouth shut.
Bought him a house, rubbing my face in it.
You pathetic wimp.
That's what I am. Him? You couldn't stop. I'll do it. I'm going to jail. You're going with me.
He got these Mexican kids, and we promised to pay them by the piece. End of the week, Rudy said, don't pay them. They can't complain.
Did there come a time when Mr. Armendariz suggested other ways of making money?
Well, he found these metal beds in a vacant lot. He said he could just tie the kids up. He did it with handcuffs.
Tell the court what happened when Mr. Ira Bender came to inspect your factory.
He wanted to see the back room. He opened the door. Rudy was inside. He got him around the neck. He handcuffed him, pulled his tie up, and he killed him.
And what happened to Maria and Eduardo Carranza?
We were trying to move them, and they tried to get away. Rudy killed them in front of the others. He said nobody would try to escape again.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Drake, you testified that you and your wife and Mr. Armendariz turned these people into slaves. Did you really do that?
Doesn't seem like something I could have done, but I did.
Why are you testifying today?
We deserve to be punished. All of us do.
Is that the reason? Or is it your agreement with the district attorney for a reduced sentence? 9 years instead of 75.
The sentence doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter to me. Tell us, Mr. Drake, was your wife sexually involved with Mr. Armendariz?
No, that's not the reason either.
But she was. And you were jealous. Were you also angry? What was the effect of that humiliation? Is it reason enough To implicate your wife and her lover in crimes that you committed? You alone?
I never killed those children.
Oh, what? You could only enslave them? Did you pay for Mr. Armendariz' liquor license? Did you buy him a house?
Only because Betty insisted.
Is that why? Or were you buying his silence to cover up your crimes?
No, that's crazy.
No, tell us, Mr. Drake. Why should we believe that Mr. Armendariz killed those children? Why shouldn't we believe you did it?
Hey! Oh my God! Call the police! Someone call the police! Oh my God. Oh God.
Took one to the chest. Emmy says it was up close and personal. Drove up the block like a bat out of HE double hockey sticks.
What precinct are you from, Sesame Street?
She still got her watch and her wedding ring.
We got a couple of witnesses over there say it looked like a carjacking.
My guy was gonna start working on the car when he found this. Nobody around here will touch it.
Biohazardous waste.
You got a pair, my friend.
Yeah, it's Detective Green. I need Otto to confiscate a car, and I need a hazmat crew.
Look, I ID the guy you're looking for, you'll walk away.
That's open to discussion.
Name's Lamont Tyler, lives over in the projects on Jefferson and 23rd.
Yo, Trice.
Lamont Tyler! Yo, what's the deal, my man?
Oh, you gotta be kidding.
You going somewhere, bro? Got a job down south.
Well, call your boss and tell him you're gonna be late.
Hey, Lou. Tyler signed a confession, nice and neat.
Yep, he'll be making license plates now instead of stealing them.
I wish all our cases went down that easy.
They don't. Hazmat crew sent the vial over to an independent lab. The report just came in. Coronavirus.
Coronavirus, as in SARS?
That's the one. Now the question is, what the hell was it doing in the Vic's car?
Last week, Anna and I celebrated our 3rd anniversary. Took her to Lagaloo. Over dinner, we talked about having a baby.
We'd like to ask you some questions about your wife, if it's okay.
My wife was killed for 6,000 pounds of metal. What the hell is there to ask?
For starters, what was she doing with a toxic virus in her trunk?
For God's sake, she works at Hudson University Research Lab as a lab technician.
What are you implying?
That, like all good businesses, you're covering your ass.
We do a detailed background check of every employee before we hire them. I interviewed Anna personally. I don't usually make mistakes like this.
Like what?
Anna's maiden name was Ozaria. She was born in Saudi Arabia.
Her father passed away last August. We went to Riyadh for the funeral. She spent some time with her brothers.
Was there anything different about her when you returned to the States?
Yeah, of course she was different. Her father had just died, and her mother had passed away 6 months earlier. You know, you'd have liked her mother. She was British.
Look, Mr. Hopkins, if you know anything about this, you need to tell us now.
All right, let me check her Palm Pilot. You know, because I think she's got Jose's home phone number.
Hey, stop it! We have an outbreak of SARS. St. Mark's Hospital.
There are 2 strains of SARS virus. The Singapore type, which caused all the problems for our friends up north, and...
Let me guess, the other one is from China.
Oh, I see you're current with the medical journals.
No, we have a friend who imported a whole batch for antiviral research.
Patient 0, Doctor?
Patient 0. A journalist named Janine Wilson, who recently returned from a medical symposium in Toronto. By the time she presented with respiratory symptoms, she transmitted the virus to everyone you see here, including her 4-year-old son, Tanner, who isn't progressing as well as we'd like. Poor kid, he's got rheumatoid arthritis as it is.
Can we talk to her?
Follow me?
That bastard. What in the world was he thinking?
What are you referring to?
He put my baby at risk, millions of innocent people?
Why don't we start at the beginning, Miss Wilson?
Charles and I had a thing. It was good, except he has a wife. I should have known he'd never leave her.
And you told him to pack his things?
4 years too late. The B12 shot. That had to be it.
Blanchard gave you a B12 injection?
Every week while we were seeing each other, I have chronic fatigue. The last shot was right after I came back from Toronto. He came over to beg. I can't believe I felt guilty about infecting my child in the name of my so-called career, and all along it was that son of a bitch.
Can we come in, ma'am? See, Doc, some people still make house calls.
What's this about, Charles?
So you're gonna have to come with us.
What are you doing?
Just call a lawyer, Elaine.
Charles Blanchard, you're under arrest for the attempted murder of Janine Wilson. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you do say, Janet will be used against you.
And then this morning, he woke up with a fever of 103. They've released everyone else. I pray to God that bastard rots in jail.
I don't know if he will, Janine.
I thought my virus was the same as that in the vial.
It was.
It got into me somehow, damn it. It had to be the injection.
You're probably right.
So what's the problem?
You.
What?
You told the police that you hadn't seen Anna Hopkins in months. I know that you saw her at the lab just a few weeks ago. Why did you lie? If you expect me to start throwing dishes, you're mistaken. To be honest, I expected some kind of reaction. Why? Your husband not only cheated on you, but he fathered a child with another woman. I never wanted children. That's not the point. No, your point is that I should feel betrayed, minimized, used. Well, I hate to ruin your day, but I don't. Mrs. Blanchard, most women are fools. Their husband cheats, and their first call is to the divorce attorney. I have to admit that would be my reaction. These are the same fools who stand by their husbands charged with embezzlement, or even murder. I'm sorry, but to me, those crimes are a bit more morally reprehensible. Excuse me. Yeah. Sure. Speaking of murder, your husband's son, Tanner, just died.
What did you have for dinner the night of the 12th?
Prime rib.
Did you and your husband have wine for dinner that night? Mrs. Blanchard.
Yes. I'm sorry. I can't do this. My husband is... You killed your own son. Objection. He was not home with me that evening. I lied about everything. Chambers, Your Honor.